Hey everybody, this is my 55-gallon Gourami tank, and I've been putting off this video for several days now. It's an unpleasant video that I have not been wanting to shoot, but it is time to finally shoot it. I have not seen my Chocolate Gourami in here for several days now, probably a week or more. It was a few days ago that I noticed. I just kind of hadn't seen it in a while. And so I started paying more attention and looking for it, and I could not find it anywhere. And it's not a reclusive fish. It comes out, comes right up to the glass for feeding time and everything else. So several days ago, I started keeping a watch for it in the ridiculous hope that it was hiding behind a leaf or something, and I was going to see it pop out any minute now. I believe that is called denial. But it's gone. I don't know what happened to it. I don't remember seeing it get sickly. I don't remember seeing its color wash out. I don't remember seeing its behavior any different. I honestly just don't remember the last time I saw it. I just noticed the other day that where's my Chocolate Gourami? I hadn't seen it in a while. And that was it. I haven't seen it since. So, I'm not exactly sure what happened. There's a couple possibilities. One, well, they both revolve around the idea that the Chocolate Gourami is a very docile gourami. They like very calm moving water. They like very calm tank mates. They don't like to be harassed or chased around. They don't even like boisterous tank mates. Even if they're leaving the Chocolate Gourami alone, if they're just in there splashing and darting around, it just stresses out the Chocolate Gourami. And so putting this fairly large, fairly boisterous snakeskin gourami in here was a concern of mine. And I kept a good eye on the Chocolate Gourami for several days afterwards. And every time, everything seemed normal. The behavior was normal. The feeding was good. The color was good. Nice gold bands around the tips of the fins. Everything looked fine. And after about a week, I stopped really worrying about it. And that's like the last time I remember seeing the Chocolate Gourami. And that's been a couple of weeks now since the snakeskin went in there. So that's one possibility, that the snakeskin is just so boisterous and aggressive that, the stress was just too much for that little calm Chocolate Gourami. The other possibility is, for a while, when I was working on getting the tank cleaned out, I had removed a bunch of the plants. This tank used to be really, really densely planted with Java fern, and I had a 1,500 gallon per hour power head back there rather than what you see now, which is only I want to say a 240 gallon per hour power head. So for a little while, the tank had 1,500 gallon per hour power head plus my canister filter, which does nominally 525 gallons per hour, but with a dirty filter and filter material and everything in there, it doesn't do anywhere near that. But it is still another couple hundred gallons per hour, at least, on top of the 1,500 gallons per hour. And I noticed one day that everybody in the tank was just struggling to stay in one spot. The angelfish was struggling just to stay still. Most of the fish were kind of up in the corners, where they could get into like sort of an eddy where the water flow wasn't so bad. And at that point I realized that's way too much current for inside that tank. And so I reduced it. In fact, for a while I had no power head at all. I turned it off completely. And I do remember still seeing the snakeskin gourami in there when the power head was turned off. The Chocolate Gourami, when there was no power head. And when I added this power head, which was, maybe a week or two ago, which again is just enough to give me a little extra circulation in the tank, but you can see it's not a vigorously flowing tank. You don't see the vegetation moving all over the place. Down on this end where I've actually got the filter flow making some movement, you can see how little the movement is. You can see the detritus moving around in the water and a little bit of that root movement. So it's not much, and I can't imagine that the stress from that power head after I reduced it in size would have had any impact on the Chocolate Gourami. So it either was so stressed that it died from that, or perhaps the snakeskin gourami here harassed it when it got in there or something. I don't know, but it's gone, and I don't know whether I should try to replace it or not. If it was gone because of the tank conditions and everything, I've corrected for that. if it was the snakeskin gourami, then adding more to the tank would not be a good idea. They're not cheap fish either, so if I were to buy several of them, which was my goal, I really wanted to have a little group of them. They will swim around together. The chocolate gouramis will definitely group together if you get several of them in there, and I was really hoping I could get to see some of that going on. But I'm certainly not dropping, $12, $15 a piece for half a dozen fish that are all going to one by one slowly die because this fish is just too boisterous for it. So that's something I'm going to have to contemplate. I'll think about it a little more. The very fact that I'm saying this and saying I'm going to have to think about it, if I have to think that hard about it, then we're probably not going to do it. But I am going to leave this snakeskin in here. I really do love my snakeskin gouramis. I miss the ones I had from before. And I think now that that little one is gone, I might actually go back to having some moonlights in here, because moonlight gouramis are another one that I think are just absolutely fantastic. I love moonlight gouramis. And my last one died off some time ago. And, I haven't had them in here since. This tank is called my Gourami Tank for a reason. It used to have a lot of gouramis in it, and just over the years, they've dwindled away, and I've never really sort of bolstered these, well, I can't really call it a school. I haven't really bolstered the group of gouramis back up again. So I don't know if I'm going to have a big group. It's hard to get a bunch that will stay together without being aggressive towards each other, but I am going to attempt to get some moonlights in here if I can find any. House of Tropicals is usually my go-to place to get the moonlight gouramis. They usually have them in stock. So next time I'm down there, we'll see what happens with that. So anyway, I wish I had a happier video for you tonight, but, like I say all the time, you get the good, bad, and the indifferent with me. And sometimes, we lose fish. It's unfortunate, but that's part of the hobby. But, like I said, you get the good and the bad and everything else. So thanks for watching this one. Make sure you're subscribed. Hopefully the next one will be a little better, and you'll get to be a, good news video instead of this one. So thanks again. Don't forget, this one is my Gourami Tank. I'll see you real soon in the next one.